Hello and welcome. I am sad to say that the weather is not as nice as it was in the little introduction that I filmed. So you might want to go and grab yourself a cup of something warming. It does feel as if autumn is on its way. Anyway, my name is Ashley and welcome here. You're very welcome, whether you're a new viewer or a returning viewer. And this is my little knitting and stitching podcast called One Stitch After Another. Shall we talk about what I'm wearing? This is the only finished object I have at the moment. Well, it's a little bit of a lie. I have got other finished objects, but they're not quite finished. Oh, do they count as finished objects then? I'm going off on one already. This is the Bolan. Let me just move back a little bit. And I have finished this a little while ago and I love it. The front and back are exactly the same. Let me sit back down now. And it has this kind of faux seam down the bottom. So it's knit sideways with this lace pattern across the neck and shoulders. I will link the pattern in the description box. I think the pattern calls for Quince & Co. Sparrow, which I believe is a linen yarn. This is a cotton. It's 95% cotton, 5% polyester, and it is pre-strung with little sequins which just catch the light. And I've worn this a couple of times out and people have said how festive it is. So I can see me wearing this at Christmas, but for this time of year it is a really comfortable wear. I was concerned that it was going to be a little bit itchy with the sequins, but I have to say it is as cosy and comfortable as anything. This is all I've got left and a little bit of scrappage. I think I bought 10 balls and I bought this in February of 2014 on a trip to Venice. And that is all I've got left. So could be nice little outfits for little toys, sparkly outfits for little mice maybe, but that'll be going into my leftovers box. So what else have I got to show you? I'll come on to that in a minute. The title of this video is something like a naked mole, a headless duck and a lone sock. So let's start with the lone sock. This is just a vanilla sock, 56 stitches. Does that sound right? It's 56 or 54. I think it's 56. Yeah, because it's 14 stitches on each needle. And this is what I have knit so far with some of my prize yarn from Lay Family Yarn. I won the grand prize in the Durkle make along, hosted by Gaynor, Tales from Cuckoo Land. And I've been coveting the yarn very much. It is so lovely to work with, and I just love all the colours in this. And there's little bits of blue. Oh yes, it's like a little bluish tinge and a purplish tinge, and this just goes really nicely. So I've done a little bit of twisted rib, 1x1 twisted rib. I think I did 10 rounds of the blue, 5 rounds of the main colour, just a normal gusset heel, or heel flap I should say, I don't know what I'm talking about, and then a grafted toe. Nothing special in the sock pattern at all, but yes. Am I suffering from second sock syndrome? I have started the second sock, but haven't got very far with it. That's in my bag for when I go walking into town and I sit with a cup of coffee. So that is the lone sock so far. Now, it's quite a short sock. I've never knit a pair of socks for me, so these are going to be for me slouching around in the house, I think. Obviously this isn't blocked, I should have said as well, but I wasn't confident that I would have enough yarn to do a longer sock, so I thought, well, I'll do a short pair, and if I do have any yarn left over, again, it can go in clothes stash for small toys and animals. I very much need this today, and thank you so much for your company if you are choosing to join me. Now, what would you like to see next? The headless duck or the naked mole? Let's go with the naked mole. So I bought a little kit when I went to the Summer Wool Festival in Ampthill. And yes, this is as far as I've got. It is not very well made up. I'm a little bit of a budget and scarper kind of maker, I guess. The knitting itself is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with the knitting, but then I get bored with the making up, which is why I'm enjoying seamless construction garments. Yeah. But yes, I'm not very good at mattress stitch. I can't get my head around the concept of it. And I don't know whether it's partly to do with being left-handed, but I just can't get my head around it. I have to say that this alpaca yarn that the body of the mole is knitting is lovely, and I've got enough left to do another mole. And then these are her tights and her shoes with her little buckles on. Now she finds it very difficult to stand up, and she finds it very difficult to sit up straight. So yes, but I do like her little hands. Can you see them? And I'm aware that the pink of the nose isn't right, but I hadn't got another pink that was enough contrast with the hands and the snout. I do think I've done her eyes quite nicely. I don't know whether looking at the side is better, but they're kind of, it's embroidered, sunk in. I do quite like her little belly. And somebody made a comment on, I think it was the Summer Wool Festival video that I made. I said about how everything was packaged really nicely and what unusual packaging, and I'd have to think of something to do with it. And she said, it's stuffing for your toy. So thank you to that lady. I took it to show some of my knitting friends, and one of my knitting friends said it's stuffing for your toy as well. So yes, I've got plenty of stuffing left over for another mole. I'm not quite sure what dress I'm going to knit. I have to say, I'm really sorry. I don't like the top and the skirt on the pattern's being provided for. So I am going to do her a dress, and I think I'm going to do the dress in the colours of the kit. But this is the contrast colour, and then a green dress, and then out of scraps that I've got in my 4-ply stash or fingering weight stash, I could do her a whole little wardrobe. So yeah, think of a name for her. Think of a name for her. Yes, but here is the headless duck. And I have to say that I've really enjoyed knitting this. And the reason the duck is headless, the instructions in the book, this is the Louise Crowther toy. The instructions in the book are really good, but I cannot find, and I do need to go back and have a look, I cannot find how to attach the head to the body nicely. And you can see my mattress stitch isn't very good. This is the back. And yeah, this little bit here is supposed to be at the back of the leg. But do you know what? It's handmade, and I'm learning. I got a bit close then, I am sorry. But I love the feet. I love how you get that shaping on the foot. This particular toy doesn't have shoes. I've made her beak, and I've made her head, and I've got her tail. But yes, perhaps she'll be finished next time. I come on. Lovely attention to detail with things like the shaping. Really like that. So that's the duck, the headless duck, and the naked mole addressed. And actually the duck does sit with her legs dangling over things, so that's quite nice, isn't it? Now, the other thing that I have to show you is this. And you might think, well, why has she knitted a letter R? Well, I'm going to insert, I don't know. I'm so excited. Let me start from the beginning. So, this is the worst knitting podcast ever. I do apologise. One of my knitting friends that comes to my Wednesday night knitting group, she's very heavily involved with some organisations in rugby because she is a retailer herself. She has a shop she has a health food shop. Anyway, she met one of our other knitters at another event, and she said, oh, why don't you come along? So she's been coming since January, and she's very, very, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? She's a keen knitter. She's a real laugh, and I've really hit it off with her. Anyway, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, she said, in 2025, it is the 20th anniversary of Knitting in Public Day. I think it's an international Knitting in Public Day. Next year is the 20th anniversary. How do you guys feel about yarn bombing our town? I thought it was a great idea. And because Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in Wonderland, went to rugby school, we are going to yarn bomb rugby with Alice in Wonderland themed knits. Now, we have a food festival in September in Rugby. I think it's September the 21st, and Kerry is having a stall there. And as part of the stall, we're going to promote this event, and we've got loads of official organisations in rugby on board, so the council know about it and all that. And there's an organisation I think called Rugby First. I don't quite know what they do. I think they help local retailers, but they're on board, and we're going to be using their public liability insurance and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it is going to be an official thing. It's not just a group of amateurs just thinking, oh, we're going to do it. You know, it will all be above board, etc, etc. But Kerry wanted some bunting for the food festival stand, so I've made an R for rugby knitters. So yes, now I'm not very good at intarsia, and this isn't true intarsia because I've carried floats across the back there. That's the back of it. Doesn't look too bad at the back, does it? But this is the awful, it isn't awful, this is the £1.29 a ball from Aldi double knitting yarn. So I've found a pattern on Pinterest, which is free, and I've got the whole alphabet. Not that I need it all, I just need certain letters. But we're meeting with somebody at Rugby Library tomorrow, and I'm going to take this to show my friend, because she wasn't at knitting last night. And in fact, I hadn't finished it. I've just finished it before I've come on filming. Excuse me. And yes, I might have a go at another one. This blue, I couldn't find the blue that I bought. It's hidden away somewhere. This blue is actually Rowan Amy Butler yarn, double knitting. So I just used that for that blue. And I'm going to maybe do an eye, but maybe not. I'm going to see what Kerry thinks first, whether it's okay size-wise. So, that being said, we went, Kerry, myself, and my friend Angela, who's known affectionately known as Muttley. We went to an event on Sunday. I'll put that on now. So we finished the scavenger hunt, which was huge fun, and I've walked around this estate, Houlton, which is they call it a satellite town from Rugby. Behind me is an eatery called the Tuning Fork, because this is on the site of Rugby Radio, and the Tuning Fork is an amazing bistro. It's quite pricey. I have eaten there in the past. I've had breakfast there, but we've done the scavenger hunt. I've won a little prize, and I'll show you a little bit of the scavenger hunt, and then I'll be at home. we found this gorgeous dog called Ivy, who's just found a stick. It's as big as she is. There's one running up as well. Enjoyed that. The ladies at the Houlton WI and the Houlton Yarners were really helpful, and it fired me up some more, and also looking at the scale of things, they did quite small installations, and obviously they were what's the word, they were targeting children with nursery rhymes and stuff like that. Some of our installations have got to be quite big, and Carrie was also fired up. We had great fun doing the scavenger hunt, and we're just coming to a decision about whether our yarn bombing event is also going to be a scavenger hunt, because we'd like to get people into other parts of the town rather than just where the installations are going to be. But if you have any experience of yarn bombing, or have access to any patterns for life-size knitted figures, I'll leave my email in the description box, and if you could email me if you have any ideas or any experience that you're prepared to share with me, that would be great. And the other thing is, if you feel that you would like to take part yourself, because our plans have gone, you know, mad, and I'll do a separate video about this. I might do a video diary of the planning of a yarn bombing event. But if you think you'd like to donate a knitted item, again, email me and I can contact you and tell you the kinds of things that we're looking for. You know, we've got lots of trees we want to dress, lots of railings we want to dress, lots of benches we want to dress. We're going to get Girl Guides on board. We're going to get local primary schools on board, and local schools generally. There's quite a lot of little knitting groups in Rugby. We're going to get them all on board as well. But if you think that you'd like to take part, do contact me. And as I say, I will leave my email in the description box. But I'm so excited. I don't think I can see myself knitting anything large. But as we were going around the town after our scavenger hunt, I said, oh, I could do little birds in the trees. I like doing little things. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Other things to talk about. I haven't had much in the way of acquisitions, but well, obviously I have, but since you saw me last, I've had 2 acquisitions, and one is for a very special whip. So you saw that I had purchased 1 skein of the Wonderland Walk from Lay Family Yarns, dyed by Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, and I've put out several video requests. What shall I knit? What shall I knit? Well, I have come to a decision, and I have actually cast on. So I'm knitting this. Let me see if I can find a better picture. Bear with, sorry for the crinkling. This Second Chance sweater by Valentina Bogdanova, and I'm going to modify it a little bit. I'm going to make it much shorter, and I've gone up a chest size to make it a bit boxier, and the sleeves are going to be shorter as well, and I'm just keeping fingers crossed that I will have enough yarn. So I've got another 2 skeins of this from the lovely Kelly at Lay Family Yarns, and I have cast on. This is what I've got left of the first skein. It is knitting up beautifully. It's top down construction. You start on 2.5mm needles, which you can just see there, and then you go to 3.5mm needles. And just look at all the gorgeous colours. So I'm so glad that I have cast on and made a start on this. Did I cast it on last Friday? I can't remember, to be quite honest. And there's a 43 row lace pattern that looks very, very interesting. And I've just done the first 2 rows of lace. There's nothing much to see at the moment, but there's on my size it's a 25 pattern repeat across the round. So I'm very grateful for lots of little stitch markers to reassure me that as I'm going round the round, I'm in the right place. But I know which is my beginning of the round, because I've got this absolutely adorable little stitch marker, little bunny rabbit from Elderflower Stitches, and it's actually got, I don't know whether you can see, it's actually a little diamante on its little bobble tail, which is absolutely delightful. So that is one acquisition. The other acquisition is for Amelia the duck. When I ordered the yarn, they hadn't got the colour for her dress, so I went on to Wool Warehouse, and I've got the 2 colours of the Katona cotton that I need for Amelia the duck. And I'd like to give a shout out to Wool Warehouse. Actually, I ordered my needles for the sweater from there because I hadn't got the right size that I needed, and I hadn't got the right cable length that I needed, and I ordered a selection, and there was one missing, and I emailed them when I opened the package and checked against the delivery note, and I said, thank you so much for the prompt delivery. I think I ordered on the Tuesday and the things came on the Thursday. I said, however, this one needle is missing, and no quibble whatsoever, that missing needle was with me the very next day. So thank you very much, Wool Warehouse. I think the final thing I'm going to talk about today is in my Summer Wool Festival video. I asked you to comment, it was towards the end of the video if you were still there, who's your favourite yarn dyer? And I had some people comment, so thank you for that. I said I would send you a little something. So I had 10 people enter, and these are the people that entered and what they said. So Ruth Green, Ducky Darlings, and Wool is the Answer. I put these in the description box because there are some that I've never heard of that I want to check out. Wool is the Answer, what a nice name is that. Carol Bresnahan, Folkestone Harbour Yarn, which I featured in my Yarningham video. Fibre Floozy Crafts, Crystal Skies Hand Dyed. I think she's in America. Ginny said Diane of Yew Tree Yarn Craft. Again, I don't know them. Helen from Crafts at Fox Cottage said Little Lilac Yarns and Sonia Jones. Again, I haven't heard of either of those. Heather 168 said The Homespun House. I have heard of them but never ordered any. Jacqueline Worth said Ripples Craft Yarn. Dawn Chadwick said Lay Family Yarn. which we all know and love. Anne Whitaker also said Lay Family Yarn, and also Ducky Darlings. And finally, Tishkin's Yarn said Mouse's Makes, which again I haven't heard of. So I shall do a little duck race now. So 10 people commented their favourite yarn diet, indie yarn diet, and I've entered 10 ducks into the duck race. Good luck, everybody. It is only a little prize. Here we go. Right, who's it going to be? I do love these little ducks. They make me laugh every time I see them. The little quacks. Oh, who's it going to be? They're all very much of a muchness at the moment, aren't they? 5 seconds left. Who's making a go for it? Looks like number 10. It's number 10. So that was Tishkin's Yarns, number 10. So if you could email me with your address, I will get a little something, and it was just a little something, sent out in the post to you. Oh yes, the one thing I didn't say about my second chance sweater is that it's beaded, very subtly beaded. I don't know which beads to choose. Help me decide. Anyway, coffee's gone cold. You're probably bored to death. That's me done for another podcast. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I'll be back with a floss tube very soon. Take care. Bye now. Don't forget to put love into every stitch.